So in today's video, I'm going to be previewing Barrow AFC versus Bradford City, and then the second part of today's video, I'm going to be bringing you guys my Game Week 45 League 2 score predictions. If you do go on to enjoy, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 80 likes on today's video, that would be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We're on the road to 9,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed. If you haven't already, with that post notification bell on, it's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your score prediction for this match. What would your starting 11 be as well? Would you make any changes from Saturday's 3-2 win away at Walsall? An outstanding comeback. When was the last time Bradford City came back from 2-0 down to win the football match? A brilliant result for us, and it keeps our playoff dreams alive. 2 games to go for us. A lot of the teams above us are in a kind of a similar situation. You've got us in 10th with 44, Walsall in 9th with 45, Doncaster in 8th with 44, Crawley in 7th with 45, and Barrow in 6th with 44. We have to win our last 2 matches against Barrow and Newport, who are the 2 worst formed teams in the division at this moment in time, and we have to hope that something like Barrow lose to Mansfield on the final day, Crawley pick up no more than a point, and Doncaster, hopefully they fall off, but that looks very unlikely. Walsall, I feel like if we win tomorrow, are massively out of the picture in my opinion, but make sure to drop a like on there for me, subscribe if you're new as well, and let's get into it. Channel memberships are now cheaper than ever, with tier 1 costing just 99p, tier 2 has been reduced from £3.99 a month down to £1.99 a month, and tier 3 has been reduced from £8.99 a month down to just £4.99 a month. Your support as always is massively appreciated, and the more members that we have, the better the content will be. Enjoy the rest of the video. Starting out then with how both teams have got on so far this season. My team Bradford City, we currently sit 10th in the table. After 44 matches, we've got 17 wins, 12 draws and 15 defeats, scoring 55 goals and conceding at 57, which leaves us on a -2 goal difference and 63 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a win, a win, a win, a draw and a win. Them last couple of matches then been a 3-2 win away at Walsall. Jamie Walker getting sent off in that one though, so he's going to be suspended for this match unfortunately. We also had a 2-1 win away at Salford City, a 1-0 win at home to Gillingham FC, a 1-1 draw away at Grimsby Town, and a 2-0 win at home to Tranmere Rovers. If you compare that then to Barrow AFC, they currently sit 6th in the table. After 44 matches, they've got 18 wins, 14 draws and 12 defeats, scoring 60 goals and conceding at 53, which leaves them on a positive 7 goal difference and 68 points. Their last couple of matches then being a loss, a draw, a loss and a loss, so they're on some really poor form at this moment in time. Them last couple of matches then being a 4-2 defeat away at Doncaster Rovers. They were actually 2-0 up in that game as well. They also had a 1-1 draw away at Crawley Town, a 3-0 defeat away at Gillingham. They also got a red card in that match. If that is a 3-game ban for George Ray, which I'm pretty sure it was because it was an absolutely horrendous tackle, so he's probably going to be suspended for this one, which I think is quite positive because he's one of Barrow's more influential players. They also had a 2-0 defeat at home to Swindon and a 2-1 defeat away at Morecambe. Like I say, their form recently has been very poor. They're clearly there to be got at, and we all know what happened in the reverse fixture. Graham Alexander's first game in charge, they beat us 2-1 on that day. A classic Barrow performance of Bradford City. Get an early goal, sit behind the ball for the remainder of the game. We managed to equalise, I think, through Tyler Smith, but then they scored a scrappy goal in the second half and again just defended for their lives. We cannot let them go ahead, because as much as we've been very good at coming back from going a goal or 2 down in the recent matches, Barrow are very good normally at seeing it out. I know, again, in their recent match, they did bottle a 2-goal lead, but Doncaster's form at this moment in time is absolutely outstanding. Now we're going to get into the team, though, that I would go with if I was Graham Alexander. Now, in terms of my formation for this game, I would stick with the 3-1-4-2. Clearly, it's been working over the last 5 matches, so I personally wouldn't change it. In goal, I've gone with Sam Walker. Now, I feel like, personally, he could have done better with both of Walsall's goals. Maybe the first one I'm being a little bit too harsh on him, but the second one especially, he should be coming and clearing everything out, including the Walsall striker and Dano Ugoke, and that's my slight concern I do have with Walker. But in the second half, I thought he had a really good game, make some pivotal saves for us, and in the end won us the match. You look at some of the mistakes that he has made this season in a Bradford City shirt, there's not been many, and he's been here for nearly half a season now, and I do certainly think he has been an improvement on Harry Lewis. But again, on Saturday, the first 2 goals, especially the second one, I do think he should do better with, but like I say, second half did make some really important saves. Into the back 3 then, at right centre back, I've gone with Jonathan Tompkinson. I feel like for me, Ugoke was really poor against Walsall, could do better for their first goal and should definitely do better for their second goal. He is a full-back back or wing back playing in centre half, you can certainly see that, because he's decent on the ball, but defensively at times he just doesn't put his foot through it and clear the ball out. He's a little bit too composed at times. And Tompkinson, for me, I feel like we need to be a little bit more solid, add a bit more height in there as well, so I'd start him at right centre back. In the middle, I've gone with Matty Platt. Again, very similar can be said about Platt. First 20-25 minutes, I thought he was fairly poor. In the second half, though, was quite important, made a lot of key headers against Walsall's big physical threats like Jamil Matt, like Mo Fout, and I thought Platt in the second half certainly was much more improved, but again, could do better for their second goal. He massively misjudges the flight of the ball and should definitely do better with that, but once it goes over his head, Walker and Oyegoke need to do better. And at left centre back, I've gone with Kieran Kelly. Now, there might be some slight doubt around him going into this game. Again, he came off with what looked to be cramp against Walsall, which for a centre half, I've never seen somebody come off with as many injuries or cramps as what Kieran Kelly has. And I know you can technically play through cramp, and he probably doesn't want to maybe let the team down if he does make a mistake. But as a centre half, it's probably the position that you do the least amount of running in. So I'm not really too sure how Kelly keeps getting all these muscular injuries. It seems to be in his calves is where the main problem is, but I don't really know what the solution is to that, to be honest with you. As my holding midfielder, I've gone with Richie Smallwood. Absolutely brilliant again against Walsall. We scored from another one of his set plays, our second goal at the weekend, but when Walker got sent off, that last 15-20 minutes, he was absolutely outstanding. The amount of last-ditch tackles and blocks he was putting in was excellent. His experience in there, and also the shithousery when Jamie Walker scored, and you know their fans were giving it to Andy Cook a bit, and he starts cupping his ears towards the Walsall fans and pointing at Andy Cook. And he's certainly been one of my most underappreciated players this season, in my personal opinion. Again, a lot of people still wanting to see him be released at the end of his current contract, and I just don't really understand it. I don't think there is many better holding midfielders in this division for me, especially out of possession, so he starts as my holding midfielder. Into the midfield then, at right wing back, I've gone with Brad Halliday. I thought against Walsall, again, first half, not particularly great. Second half, certainly a little bit better, but at times I feel like he got caught a little bit too high up the pitch, and that's where Walsall's first goal does come from, really. I know Oyegoke makes a massive gap and stays with his runner rather than sticking to his position, but Halliday was caught really far up the pitch on a couple of occasions, and I don't think he had a bad game, don't think he had a particularly great game. I'll probably say slightly above average, but for Brad Halliday, probably an average game, but certainly our best option there, so he definitely starts for me. In terms of my two central midfielders, firstly I've gone with Alex Gilliard. As we know, Jamie Walker is suspended for this game, so the only real option to bring in for him is Alex Gilliard. Now, when we knew we had nothing to play for, we were told people like Alex Patterson and Jake Young and Sam Stubbs wouldn't be pushed to be brought back this season, and we'll be saving them for next campaign. But now that we've technically got something to play for, I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe an appearance for Jake Young or Alex Patterson on the bench. But Gilliard, for me, again, when you're playing away from home against a team currently in the playoffs, you do need to be a little bit better defensively, and Gilliard will certainly bring that. While he doesn't have the attacking quality and attacking output that Jamie Walker does have, hopefully he can come up with one of his rare few goals. He's not scored in a while as Gilliard, and some of his goals this season have been very good, so fingers crossed he does get on the score sheet once more. And partnering him, I have gone with Clark Adore. Now, for me personally, I feel like Bobby Poynton's impact on the last couple of games hasn't particularly been there, and I feel like Adore on off the bench has shown a little bit more, in my personal opinion. And don't get me wrong, I really like Bobby Poynton, but I'd much rather save him and keep him fresh and re-energised for the weekend's game against Newport, because I think Poynton plays much better at Valley Parade than what he does away from home. And Adore, I think he's got that trickery and footwork that we're going to need against a team like Barrow, who are very good defensively. He's certainly got that eye to pick a pass, and fingers crossed he can bring back some of his form that we saw around February sort of time, where he was absolutely flying, and he starts in central midfield for me. And at left wing back, I've gone with Lewis Richards. I felt, for me personally, Tyreek Wright was pretty poor against Walsall at the weekend, and again, similar to bringing Gilliard in, when you're playing away from home against a very good side, while recent form would maybe not suggest that, but they are obviously a very good team over the course of the full season. I do think you need to be a little bit better defensively, and Wright got caught out on a number of occasions at left wing back, so Lewis Richards comes in for me in that position. And as my two strikers then, firstly I've gone with Andy Cook. Back to his best at the weekend, goal, assist, big part to play in the third goal as well. It was such a massive shame that he didn't score the winner, because I would have loved to have seen him score in front of our fans, celebrate with our fans, and then do an Adebayor all the way up to the Walsall fans, cup his ears, shush through him, because all he has to do is breathe in Walsall, and Andy Cook absolutely rattles their fan base. But he was very good at the weekend, and now coming up against another one of his former clubs, fingers crossed he can get on the score sheet. And partnering him, I've gone with Callum Kavanagh. Now, I actually thought he was fairly average against Walsall, didn't really have much of an impact on the game, to be fair. Got subbed off once Walker got sent off to go a little bit more defensive, and Kavanagh, I need to see a little bit more from him in this one, but I feel like he's still better than Tyler Smith, and obviously Jake Young we don't expect to be back for this one. On the bench now for me, that'd leave Colin Doyle, Daniel Ugoke, Kevin McDonald, Bobby Poynton, Harry Chapman, Tyreek Wright and Tyler Smith. The players currently unavailable are Sam Stubbs, Alex Patterson, Jamie Walker through that one-match ban, and also Jake Young. So the players who miss out then through selection would be Ash Taylor, Liam Rideout, Adam Wilson and Matt Derbyshire. Now then, let's get into my Game Week 45 League 2 score predictions. Only the 2 games for us to go through and predict, but they are 2 massive games in terms of how teams finished this season and who makes it into the playoffs. Starting out then with Barrow AFC versus Bradford City. I'm hopefully going with a little bit of reverse psychology, but the pressure hasn't been on for us recently, and now the pressure is back on. We've seen that this team certainly can crumble under that. I'm going with a 1-1 draw. I think it'll be quite frustrating. I think Barrow are going to defend deep. They're going to be resolute. They're going to want to stop their run really of poor results, and they're at home. They've got a very good home record for the large part this season. I do think it will be very tough. We are on good form though. I really don't know how this game is going to go, but when we're on good form, Barrow on a horrendous form, we all know how that normally ends for Bradford City. And also Colchester United versus Doncaster Rovers. Now Colchester know they're probably going to be playing at League 2 football again next season. I feel like they might take a slight foot off the gas. Doncaster's form recently has been absolutely outstanding, and a lot of credit needs to go to Grant McCann's side because they've massively turned it around since around February time. I think back to the home game that we played against Doncaster in the league. Obviously we've played against them on a number of occasions this season, but I think back to that home game and I wasn't particularly impressed by Doncaster in that one, or the EFL Trophy game, or even the away game just before Christmas as well. I was never really impressed with Doncaster, but their form recently has been outstanding and they deserve credit for that, and that is why I'm backing them for a 2-0 win. But I'm going to leave it there then for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 80 likes, as I said at the start of today's video, that would be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We're on the road to 9,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already, with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your score prediction for this match and what would be your starting 11 as well. Would you make any changes from Saturday's 3-2 win away at Walsall? Thank you all very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day and I'll see you all tomorrow for a match day vlog. Peace.